World War II, a global conflict that lasted from 1939 to 1945, marked a pivotal moment in human history. This was a time of great upheaval, where nations clashed and the world was reshaped. The key players, the Allied and Axis powers, engaged in a war that spanned the globe. Air power played a crucial role in this conflict. The skies became a battlefield where control meant a strategic advantage. The ability to strike from above, to scout enemy positions, and to transport troops and supplies quickly across vast distances was paramount. This new dimension of warfare changed the face of conflict, making aircraft an essential part of the war strategy. In this vast armada of flying machines that filled the skies during those turbulent years, one aircraft stood out. It was not the largest, nor the most heavily armed, but it was a game-changer. Among the many aircraft that saw action during this time, one stands out for its exceptional performance and impact: the P-51 Mustang. The P-51 Mustang, a marvel of engineering, was born out of necessity and innovation. As the world was plunged into the throes of World War II, there was a desperate need for a high-performance, long-range fighter. North American aviation was up to the task, and in 1940, they began the design of what would become an aviation legend. The initial model, the P-51A, was a promising start. But it was the introduction of the P-51B and P-51C models that truly marked a turning point. These models incorporated significant improvements, but the most revolutionary change was under the hood. North American aviation made the bold decision to replace the original Allison engine with the Packard V1650 Merlin engine, an adaptation of the British Rolls-Royce Merlin. This change drastically increased the Mustang's performance, particularly at high altitudes. The P-51B and C models could now escort bombers all the way to their targets and back, a feat previously impossible for any other fighter of the time. This was a game-changer. The Mustang was not just a plane anymore. It was a symbol of hope, a beacon of resilience in the dark skies of battle. By 1944, the P-51D, the most produced variant of the Mustang, was introduced. With its iconic bubble canopy and enhanced firepower, it quickly became a symbol of American air power. The P-51 Mustang was not just born, it was forged in the fires of innovation, necessity, and war. The P-51 Mustang was more than just a machine, it was a game-changer in the skies of World War II. As the conflict raged on, this legendary aircraft emerged as a pivotal player, particularly in the strategic bombing campaign against Germany. Before the P-51, the Allies had a serious problem. Their bombers could reach deep into enemy territory, but their fighters couldn't escort them the whole way. This left the bombers vulnerable to enemy fighters. The P-51, with its long-range capabilities, changed all that. Now bombers had fighter escorts all the way to their targets and back. This dramatically reduced bomber losses and increased the effectiveness of the bombing campaign. Moreover, the P-51 was a morale booster for the Allies and a demoralizer for the Axis. It's one thing to face an enemy fighter over your own territory, but quite another to face one hundreds of miles from home. For the Allies, the sight of P-51s alongside their bombers gave them confidence. For the Axis, it was a sign that the tide of war was turning. But the P-51 was more than just a long-range escort. It was also a formidable fighter in its own right. With its superior speed, range, and maneuverability, it could take on and defeat any Axis fighter. The P-51, with its superior speed, range, and maneuverability, tipped the scales in favor of the Allies, helping to usher in the end of World War II.